So this video is going to look at 8b, which is on arithmetic sequences. Now, arithmetic sequences are sequences that are generated by adding or subtracting a fixed amount to the previous term. So each time we're getting the next number, we're adding 5 or subtracting 2, for etc. And this amount that is being added or subtracted is called the common difference, and it then uses a lowercase d to represent it. So in order for us to find the common difference, we can find the difference between two successive terms, which means two terms in a row, so T1 and T2, for example, and we can take the next term minus the current term to work that out. Now, just a little note, we don't always need to calculate D and solve that little equation. It might be really easy for us to see what amount is being repeatedly added or subtracted to make each new term. So the first question I have here is, which of the following sequences is arithmetic? Now, remember, arithmetic means the same amount being added or subtracted. So we just need to sort of have a look and see what the pattern is. If we look at A, 20, 17, 14, 11, hopefully you can see to get from each term to the next, we've subtracted 3, subtracted 3, subtracted 3. So since the same amount is being consistently added or subtracted, we can say that this is an arithmetic sequence. However, if we look over at B here, 3 to 9, all right, we're getting bigger, so we're adding something. If we just look at what's being added, we're adding 6. Okay, then 9 to 27 means we've added 18, so that's quite a large difference there. We don't have the same amount being added. Straight away, that's a sign that it's not arithmetic then. And maybe you can recognize that the pattern is actually multiplied by 3. So we're multiplying each term by 3. So in this case, this is not arithmetic. In actual fact, this pattern here is geometric, and that'll be the focus of some of our future lessons as well. But today we're just looking at adding or subtracting patterns. Now this question here, it says generate the first 6 terms of the arithmetic sequence. So 3, 8, 13. If we look at this, hopefully you can work out that the pattern here is to be adding 5. And so if we want our first 6 terms, well, 3, 8, 13, they're our first 3. I could keep on adding 5 here, so I could then say 18, 23, 28. That's my first 6 terms, and I put the dots there to mean that it keeps going on and on. What I can do though is I can actually get my calculator to make this happen. So I am going to show you how to do this. On your calculator, you want to be on the main menu. I'll just move this over here a sec. You want to be on the main menu. And what you first of all want to do is you want to type in the first number that the sequence is starting with. So in this case, we want to type in 3, and we're just going to press this blue EXE button, which means enter. Now what we're going to do is we're going to type in the rule. So we knew we were adding 5, so we're going to press plus 5, and you'll see that comes up with answer plus 5, and if I press that blue EXE button again, it gives me 8. Now if I keep pressing that blue button, it'll keep adding 5 on for me. So it keeps repeating the rule, doing that recursion process over and over. And so I've had 3, then 8 is my second term, 13 is my third, 4th, 5th, 6th. And so I can see then that my first 6 terms are those ones that we've already written down there, but I can pop that in my calculator quite easily. What we can also do though is we can graph arithmetic sequences. And so in order to graph them, we want to plot the values of the term against their number in the sequence. So what that means when I graph these is that my x-axis down the bottom is going to be that my x-axis down the bottom is going to be that n value. So if it's like T1, T2, T3, T4, and then this up here is going to be what the value of that actual term is. So this up here is the value of the term against the term number n. And what happens here is because they are increasing and decreasing by the same amount, I'm going to end up with a straight line graph. And if my graph is sloping upwards, so from left to right, going up like that, that indicates growth. And if it's downward sloping, then we use the word decay to describe that. So question 3, it wants us to plot a graph for the values found in question 2. So what we'll do here is let's set up some axes for us. And so I have n down here, so this is going to be 0. Then I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, because I had 6 terms. Obviously, you're going to make sure that is really nicely evenly spaced. And my smallest number was 8, and then I went up to 28. So what I might do here is call this 10, 20, 30, and then I'll just put in those little half marks to be the 5, 15, 25. So we started with 1 and 8, so that'll be about here. 2, 13, 3, 18, 4, 23. I missed a number. So we started with 3. Let me try that again, guys. Just write that out. Sorry. We started with 3. So we started down here at 3. Then we went up to 8. Then we went up to 13. Then 18. Then 23. And then 28. And now with your ruler, you'll be able to draw a nice straight line through them, indicating here that we've got, again, an upward slope. We've got a nice straight line, and that means there is growth, because as we knew, we were adding 5 to each term in order to get the next one. Another way that we can do this is you might be asked to construct a table to show the first 5 terms in the sequence. So if we need to construct a table and then use the table to plot the graph, our first column of our table is going to be n, and so that means so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so our first, second, third, fourth, fifth term, and Tn, so that means the value of that actual term. So the first term has a value of 20, the second term has a value of 17, 14, 11. Hopefully we can see that the pattern here is that we're subtracting 3 each time, so this fifth term then has a value of 8. Now, using this table to plot the graph of n versus Tn means that I will set up some axes. This horizontal axis we know is n, and that vertical one is Tn. And so if I label these here, I've got 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're starting at the highest is 20, so let's go 20, let's put in 10, and put in little marks to represent 5 and 15. So now 1 and 20 means I'm going to have a cross all the way up here. 2, 17 is in here. 3, oh, that was maybe a little low. Maybe more in there. 3, 14 is in there. 4, 11, and 5, 8. And again, now you guys will have this ruler much neater, and you can see that they've got this straight line here. So this time we can see that we've got a downward slope, and this indicates that there is decay in the pattern, so that the numbers are getting smaller each and every time. So that there is a summary of 8B for you, just getting started with arithmetic sequences. Remember, arithmetic sequences is when we're adding or subtracting the same amount each time. So that is the pattern that we're starting to create. Thank you.